Good morning, everybody. It must be Friday the 13th. Where's Jason when you need him?
In the hall. I saw him. I walked by him. He's just standing there. It was too early.
Yeah. Well, you know, what are you going to do? So, Real Estate Jerky Daily, and I'm Ed Parco with Mike Kelly. I don't know if I said that. We're here, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We got some stuff, I think.
Why don't you talk while
you talk?
No, you go first.
Okay, I'm going to share this.
There's faster.
I'm going to do this. There we are. There's the state of California. What happened?
We're down.
I know. Week ending October 7th. 448 closed sales per day. Wow. 498 pending sales. I believe the week before we were in the 500s,
yeah,
right?
we were.
But the listings are up. So 634 per day.
It must be
last week.
It must be falling apart out there.
Sky is falling. This inventory is increasing like crazy.
Oh, what did we go up? 50, 60?
About 50.
And that's California.
Yeah.
Not just us, right?
Yeah. So you get 19.6 of the realtors, 6% of the realtors closed a sale, 18% entered into escrow, and 19.9 listed a property. So you can see that number's up, and it correlates with this 634 number. Wow.
1 in 20.
1 in 20. So I'm
sorry, that's not 1 in 20. That's 1 in 5. Listed a property.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And here's what the realtors are gonna say.
It's getting worse out there.
These are all negative numbers.
Sky is falling.
Sky is falling. It just fell all over my head.
I'm sorry to hear
that. So, I mean, we're traditionally moving into the cooler months, which people aren't moving as much as.
You don't mean temperature wise, you mean like
cooler market wise, sales wise.
Yeah, but
December still the has the 7 busiest days, right?
The 7 best days for buyers,
right?
But you're right. But historically, if you look back over the last so many years, they're really the May, June, July, August that was so great all the time. The horseshoe thing,
right,
has not been the horseshoe thing. It's been more of like a little bell curve,
right?
You know, and more steady. So we can't say that all the stuff's done early. No, it just up in Tuolumne County, January, February, March. There's nothing going on usually.
It's just no.
And I always say that's the best time to sell a house because that snow's covering that deck and we don't know how bad it is. So pest issues we don't know about. Yeah, we don't know about those pest issues. I'm not saying that you don't disclose it. I'm just saying that, you know, on the lending side, especially if it's an FHA.
What would you write on the disclosure there?
That would be something on your side.
Deck under snow.
No, we don't even write that.
Well, you got to say there's a deck. If they can't see the deck.
See the deck because you clean off the part to go to the house.
Yeah.
All right. News today. Really not a ton of news. The most important thing is the University of Michigan gauge of consumer sentiment. See, it took me a while to get that word.
Yeah.
October reading is at 63 from 68. So the consumer is going, you know what? It's not getting so great. I guarantee this Christmas is not going to do that well.
Yeah.
That this will be the time that people see that people don't have money. And even though people overspend, they've already done that. And there's no room on those credit cards.
Yeah.
And January is going to turn around and go, okay, we didn't get the sale, so we're going to slash the prices, and they're still not going to do very well, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, I would imagine that people have already bought what they're going to buy for Christmas on a couple Prime days and stuff like that, and socked it away, expecting that they
20% of the people did.
Yeah, smart people did, and expecting that they're going to be hurting units in November, December. So,
well, or other people were like, you know, let's just wait because there's going to be really good sales because they're going to be hurting.
Yeah. You know, have you ever been lucky enough to spend Christmas after Christmas because of family?
No.
And you don't shop until after Christmas?
No.
There's not a lot of inventory on the shelves, but what's there is super inexpensive.
but it's like pickings.
Yeah. Well, hey, you get what you get.
Oh, by the way, Zillow said that property values declined by 0.1% in September, but are still up 2.1% from this time last year.
Well, you know, Zillow, they're so accurate on
and they say we're on pace still to be up 6% this year.
Yeah. Well, and Redfin said something this morning about how sales are extremely down, but home prices are still skyrocketing upward.
Yeah, sales are down, but there's no issue with the inventory and everything else. There's enough sales. I'm just saying the market's going to fall. It's not gonna, yeah, what?
Yeah, and Governor Newsom,
Yeah.
he signed another bill yesterday that'll help the tenants out even more.
Great for him.
So now the largest deposit you can take on a property is a month equal to your rent
as a deposit.
Well,
isn't that normally what they do?
Well, you used to be able to put on additional fees for securities, your first, but now nope. So what does that mean in the real world? What are the unrealized consequences of that? More homeowners are going to sell the mom and pop rental people are going to sell their rentals and get out of the business completely.
Right. And so that means that more people can get those homes to live in.
Exactly.
And there's going to be less places for people to rent.
Yeah.
Right. Because even the big corporations, they're going to still have the issues. They're going to have the same issues.
Yep.
But they don't, they don't care. All right. So there's not a ton of news today, like we talked about. Next week is retail sales on Tuesday.
Oh, I can't wait.
NAHB, National Association of Housing Builders, that comes out on Tuesday also. Wednesday is mortgage applications are going to be, I guarantee they're going to be down. Want to bet on that one?
Yeah.
Housing starts and permits, and then Fed's beige book that just talks about what they see going on in different areas. And Thursday, initial jobless claims. Every Thursday is initial jobless claims. You remember that show where everybody works today, everybody gets a job? I can't remember who the actor was. It was he went to become a politician, but he ran a employment agency at the same time. I can't think of his name. Anyway, existing home sales are on Thursday also.
I don't even know the show.
It was a movie.
Oh.
And he became a quick politician or stand-in politician for somebody because he looked just like the other guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna tell
everybody works today.
Everybody
gets
a job today.
Yeah.
The problem is there's jobs, but people don't want to work. And every time I say that and we cut it up, everybody's that's not right. These employers are horrible.
Yeah,
they want me to show up on
time. And then one time, maybe you heard that Starbucks employee that snivels on the reels.
No.
I had to work 5 hours, and then we had a rush, and I was the only one working the counter, and it was so intense. I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, oh my God, here's your safety pin. Go to your safe space.
Why do you give them a safety pin to the safe space? Because won't they poke themselves with it?
They might
fall. Ow! I pinned myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue you.
Yeah, you definitely don't give them that. They will. I was talking to a friend of mine on Tuesday, and he's like, "Yeah, so and so's getting sued for workers' comp, and so and so's getting sued by their employer E, who was actually a contractor who fell or whatever. Now he's trying to say he was an employee. It's like, damn.
He was a contractor. Is he suing himself?
No, he's suing the person he was working for.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to be careful out there, people.
Yeah.
In California, if there's a way they can sue you to work, to get paid, they will. So. But I was talking to a guy in London this morning because I was on his podcast. He's a tailor, actually, but his tailor podcast went further than just being about tailoring. And
does he call it Taylor Swift?
Taylor something, but not Swift, because I'm sure that has that's copyrighted.
Probably copyrighted, yeah.
Or trademark, so. Definitely. And he was talking about how over there it's really difficult to buy a home when you get into contract in certain places, except for Scotland. It could fall apart at any time, and it's so hard, so difficult
for just various and sundry reasons.
Yeah, just because of how hard it is to do stuff over there. So what I'm getting at, and then also the seller and the real estate agent, the seller says, if you get me over this, I'll give you this, and then they try to get that from the buyer's agent. So what's happening here in California, in the United States, is on its way to being kind of like other places where there's only representation for the seller, and the buyer is going to get SOL'd out of the situation. And it's going to be so much harder to do transactions.
Well, and I hear there's already brokerages that are kind of offering that, where they say this is the value, and whatever I get over, I want a percentage of. If I can sell over.
Right.
To me, I mean, it seems tantamount to fraud, because you could just undervalue the property, right, knowing that the market's going to move it up.
That's like selling the contracts. Remember how they just
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if you're a real estate agent, get rid of your license if you're doing that, because because they have a way coming after you.
Yeah, they will. Well, yeah, you'll lose it anyway, right?
Yeah. But it just, there was like talking about there's another lawsuits, right, regarding what's going on, and it could cause 1 million real estate agents to get out of the business.
Right. Which is kind of like NAR just kind of shaking their fur and get rid of the fleas. Oh, is that bad? Did I say that?
Is that what they're doing? I don't know if that's really, because
no, NAR is not.
That's like
itself.
30% of the business of the people in the business would be gone.
Yeah, yeah, and what I fear, and maybe I'll be dead by then, but what I fear is this is all trying to move towards no longer are we independent contractors, we'll be employees. You're going to make 25. Well, minimum. What's minimum wage now? $600 an hour.
Depends on where it is.
Yeah. You make so much money, and maybe you get a tiny commission on top of what you sell. So
I see, my whole thing that I still think that all these lawsuits were brought about by the fintech, because there was no way they were going to pierce the current real estate industry the way it was set up to where they could make a ton of money, because all those places have you can sell your house, we'll give you a cash offer, but it's so excuse my language, so below what it's worth, it's ridiculous.
Right.
And then they couldn't really get into this market. Well, now guess what? If it goes the way it's going, they can definitely now get into this market.
That's
and take
true.
It over. And I could swear that they're probably were the ones. Yeah, here, we'll get in there and sue them this way. We'll fund you or whatever. Just wait. Something's gonna come out where they're involved somehow.
Yeah,
because none of this would have happened. It was too big of a lawsuit for just an individual to go on to take care of it. You follow me?
Yep, I do follow you. And the brokerages, the large brokerages who have settled, are settling under the guise that, well, this class action lawsuit is going to continue to go on, and whatever the outcome is, at least all of our agents will be immune to it, because with the settlement, it protects the agents that work for that big brokerage. That they can no longer be attacked from any other end, like no double jeopardy or that. I can't think this morning.
That's okay. It's early.
It's again.
Yeah.
It's again. I think I'm just wiped out this week. Anyway,
good thing you're having a party now.
Yeah. Good thing you're going to a party now.
Yeah, but I don't have to clean up. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. You just show up and leave.
Like, Marcia, you drive. No, I want Prosecco.
I was wondering if tonight would be okay we have a really wide street, if we could have a bonfire afterwards.
Oh, what are they going to do? Just call the fire department and say, hey, we're going to set this. Could you come out and do a training video?
Yeah, there you go. A nighttime training video.
Yeah. Well, I know up in where my cabin is, a lot of people will put the stuff on the street to burn, so it doesn't burn any trees.
Really?
Yeah. Even though you shouldn't do that.
That seems scary as hell.
No, it seems like it would ruin the asphalt, is what I'm thinking.
Well, and also, embers travel.
Yeah, but it's usually wetter at the time, so it's not gonna. We don't do it during the summer. We can't do it. All the burn permits are gone. It's usually fall into winter, and then on the other side of winter where everything's wet still. You know what I mean? So it doesn't take off. Embers carry made me think of voices carry. Oh, really? There was something else you said. I thought of the song, and I was like, and you kept going. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh,
you say I talk all the time. You say I talk all the time.
You're always talking. Yeah. Good thing you're president this year.
Ralph says that you like to talk, Ed. I'm like, well, that's what I'm good at.
That's what we do.
That's what I have a conversation for. And speaking of Rotary, if you want to get involved with a civic organization, please reach out to us. We're looking for a few more people, good people for our Rotary. We're very selective. We're very selective. I was the last non-good person.
You're not selective. I'm a member. Come on.
we both had they lowered it just for us.
Yeah, they said, well, we're down a couple, through natural attrition, meaning the club is getting older.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are
passing away.
We hate to see people pass away, especially the amazing ones. They're all amazing. But yeah, it's, you know what, guys, seriously, a morning breakfast instead of an afternoon breakfast, which would be a lunch.
I prefer afternoon breakfast.
Thursdays, 7 a.m. Get there at 6:45. Greens on 10th. and it's a great meeting. We have fantastic speakers. You learn a lot. You network a lot.
It's all about giving back to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy that my first transaction from the radio show, I don't consider him that, but it was just, you get going and he's like, when he called, he's like, my dad told me to listen to the radio show so I could learn about buying real estate. And then a couple months later, he calls me and we get him into contract.
Mhm.
I don't do the contract, of course. I just do the loan. And then luckily he bought when he did. It was in 19,
Yeah.
18 and 19. And then he's like, oh, I'm so happy because at the time he was stretching himself to do it.
But he's got a lot of equity now.
Ton. They were trying to buy something else recently, but they were, live close to the parents. But, of course, there's multiple offers and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But he reached out to me because of our lives. And he's like, I want to join a civic organization. What's about Rotary? I keep hearing you talk about Rotary. Well, Rotary is great. We do a lot, even locally. And right now, what we're going to do this year, because the veterans theme that I have is we're going to do a fire walk. Right now, we had set it for February, but I want to move it to March because I think we'll have some rain potentially in February.
There's a big possibility of rain in February.
On average, we have 6 days of rain in February, and it's right across those days.
Pick the other days.
Well, and so we're doing a fire walk for veterans. Right now, I have it set up for 100 veterans.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get more money to get 200 to 300 to 400, whatever we can get through there. It has to be done at nighttime because they got to see the coals so they don't burn people.
Mm-hmm.
They got to make sure it's a certain temperature. Hot,
right.
Of course, but not scalding where you melt as you walk across it.
Yeah. That would suck. Yeah.
But people do burn their feet.
Well, yeah,
because they don't think they can do it.
They are coals. Walk fast.
Yeah. Well, they also do broken glass. I'm like, that's okay. I'll do the coals.
Yeah, I don't even like to have my feet tickled. So
I look at this, all the extra dead skin would be off because I haven't had a pedicure in a while.
Yeah. Hey, you know what they could do after broken glass? Legos.
Those are the worst. Yeah, I stepped on those many times.
Oh my
Blake was so into Legos. He still is into Legos to this day. He buys the stuff and puts it together.
Yeah.
All the Star Wars stuff and all that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. All right, I'm done. You done?
I'm done.
All right, don't forget we have a radio show this weekend. We are having a gentleman about tiny homes, Carlos
Verduzco.
Anyway,
Preferred Tiny Homes.
Right here out of, I think, Modesto series.
Yeah, local kids.
Yeah, it's Modesto because they're off of college. I think they said their office.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they're going to talk about ADUs and a bunch of other stuff. So look to that show. If you don't want to listen to the radio, just wait till Monday and we'll have it up as a podcast everywhere. All right.
There you go.
Everybody make it a great day and thanks for being here. Mike,
enjoy the
weekend
here. Thanks, Ed.